I literally had sweat rings from like here down to here. I was terrified of picking up the phone and calling people. I
Yeah.
was there back then when Keller Williams was amazing. And then all of a sudden they switched their model. And that's when it all went sideways. I was able to coach not only the new agents, but all of the top tiered agents in the office too. And we crushed it. The reality is this is the best time to build a business. And everybody who's not doing it has a limiting belief that's holding them back. And I find that almost every single time my agents come back to me and they go, these people wanted to talk to me. I'm like, shocker, people want to work with you. I'll share with you the reframe that changed my career, literally. Yeah. I love coaching new agents. You know why? Because they haven't learned bad habits.
Ophir, welcome to the 6 Amers. We're thrilled to have you on.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you for having me on this morning.
Yeah. So Ophir, if you don't mind, let's if you could introduce yourself to the group, a little bit about what you do and,
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Ophir. I'm in Los Angeles. I have been in real estate since 2002. I started with Coldwell Banker. And very quickly after a year, I was one of the first 10 agents with all of Keller Williams in Los Angeles. So it was a really interesting time because I was building my business and we were pioneering at the same time. And the beauty of it, though, was I really got to learn straight from, Gary Keller and Mo Anderson and all the leaders exactly how to build business. And it was amazing. It was incredible. So I built my business from being a lead generator, picking up the phone and calling and door knocking, and built a pretty big business very quickly in Los Angeles doing that. And then I've been in management for the past 15 years, first with Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, and now with Compass. I love working with agents. It's my favorite thing in the world. I love coaching agents and helping them build business.
Awesome. I'm a former KW guy as well. So
Perfect.
We have a little different language. Keller Williams, there's definitely some challenges, but there's so much I learned there. So Ophir, if you could maybe impart to everyone on the call, like what are some things you did learn from Keller Williams? Because they have some great trainings.
Well, it's interesting, and I'll tell you straightforward, Sky. I mean, I was there back then when Keller Williams was amazing. And then all of a sudden they decided to be number one by agent count.
Yeah.
They switched their model and that's when it all went sideways. But what I learned from Keller Williams was the most important thing was a mission statement. A vision, a belief system. I never knew anything about that growing up. Nobody ever taught me anything about it. And I was at Warner Brothers before I came into real estate. So I didn't know any of that stuff. So I really learned about how to incorporate my vision and my mission into my business, which was the most incredible thing. And which is what drove me actually from being a realtor into coaching and management.
Yeah. What was the transition like into management? What was like
Well, first I went into coaching. So I was one of the first, I was part of the first group of productivity coaches in the country.
Awesome.
When it first launched. So that was really fun and it was great. And I got to coach agents in the office. So it was a great time. It really was. And I really learned that you can show people easily how to build a business very quickly, as long as they're consistent and committed.
That's awesome. And then productivity, just so everyone on the call knows, a productivity coach is a Keller Williams position, I guess, where you sort of coach newer agents and you take a percentage of their first 3 or 4 deals. And it's a great little model that Keller Williams sort of created. How did you transition from productivity coach into management?
So I had a very unique model with productivity coaching because I was able to coach not only the new agents, but all of the top tiered agents in the office too, because I had built a big business with a team and with systems and models. So I understood how to help them build those businesses. So from there, the leadership, I knew them all very well because we all started together. And they asked me to build their Hancock Park office, which was about to shut down, excuse me. So it was a relaunch, as you would know, Sky. And that was 2008. Great time to take.
Great. Short sales.
And we crushed it. We absolutely crushed it because we did the basics, right? We did the most important things in real estate and my agents loved it and succeeded. And that was so much fun. And from there, I became known for building offices.
Yeah. What are your, when you went into a relaunch, especially in 2008, which I want to ask you a little bit about your experiences in, but like, what were your secrets to success in building offices? Like that's
I'm going to tell you guys, because it's very important to hear this right now. The reality is this is the best time to build a business. This is the most opportune time to build a business. So I came at it with excitement, right? Where all these other managers and companies were like, wow, be careful, shore up your business, do this. I'm like, let's go. Let's go take our fair share of the market, right? And so it's just a different, it's called a reframe, right? Reframing is the most powerful tool in the world. And so I just reframed it for them and they got really excited and we all collaborated, which is for me, like the most key thing in success is collaboration and built-in accountability. And so it was wonderful. It was a great time. And we built a powerful office that's still in the top 10 to today.
That's amazing.
By the way, so you guys know, like I was terrified of lead gen. I was terrified of picking up the phone and calling people. And so, my coach, Tom Ferry, was in Newport Beach, asked me to come down and make some calls with him. And I did, but I literally had sweat rings from like here down to here. And Tom Ferry was in the back, like cracking jokes, like, we're going to have to call an ambulance for this guy.
Ophir, let's dig into this psychology because I struggle, and sometimes I don't know if it's the right thing or wrong thing as a leader or coach to like not call it lead gen. So I'll call it like creating opportunities or right. Because I want agents to do it. But like, why are agents so resistant to doing the basics of real estate? Just calling someone, especially calling someone they know?
Yes,
right?
yes.
What do you think?
I love it. Listen, my background is in neurolinguistic programming, right? So that's literally, how do you reframe things? How do you remove limiting beliefs? How do you get rid of emotional baggage quickly and easily? How do you change your patterns quickly and easily? So the reality is this, right? And I'm going to call it straight. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's no reason for that. It's just the way you're looking at it. And everybody who's not doing it has a limiting belief that's holding them back. And I'm going to tell you right now that it's very easy to remove too. Once you get to the bottom of it, you know what that belief is, you reframe it, and then they're excited about it.
Yeah. NLP, give everyone on the call that may not know what that is, like a quick definition.
Yeah, sure. Neurolinguistic programming is about the mind-body connection and how we process things. So our unconscious mind controls 99% of what we do, right? That's very important for everybody to know. So we're literally like a bag of patterns, right? That were mostly created in our childhood. And some of them were created well, and some of them were created with bad patterns, right? So we can easily look at those. We can see images, right? Images are attached to those beliefs. And when you change that image, when you can literally change that image, you can change the belief and you can change the pattern. And so it's a simple, easy way to do that. And then, of course, it's about linguistics. I love linguistics. I love scripts. They're the best thing in the world that's ever been created, because once you master your scripts, the game of real estate is over.
Yeah.
You are a master of the game of real estate.
That's so great. So let's go back to that question though. Why are agents resistant to lead generate?
It's a limiting belief that they have. They're doing a lot of mind reading, right? First of all, they're mind reading. They're deciding what the responses are going to be. So if you already know that, why would you even pick up the phone and call?
Yeah.
Right. There's no reason to. So you just have to shift what they're attaching it to. And then it changes the pattern and they actually get excited to do it. And I find that almost every single time my agents come back to me and they go, these people wanted to talk to me. I'm like, that's so weird, right? Like shocking.
So that was like the CMA day, we're redoing it again. I had so many people say like, oh my God, like people are responding. I'm like, yeah, they actually like you're a great person.
Yeah, shocker. People want to work with you.
Yeah, exactly. It's so great. And I think once again, this is the NLP. Rather than saying, I don't want to bother them, I don't want to be salesy, I'm going to give them a gift of me.
Sky, I'll share with you the reframe that changed my career. Literally, this is how it went, right? As I told you, I was terrified. I would go door knocking and hold on to my steering wheel and then drive home 30 minutes later. That's who I was. And my coach helped me reframe this. When I literally reframed it to, if I'm not reaching out to these people, I know there's so many awful realtors out there, right?
Yeah.
And people that only think about commission. And if I'm not reaching out to these people to get their business to know that they're going to be protected, then shame on me, because somebody else with commission breath is.
Yep. That's so powerful. I did a similar thing, except I would add in like, oh, I'm being so selfish by protecting myself
Yeah.
from, like from rejection. And I'm holding myself back from helping these people.
Oh
Right.
God,
That's
it's
how I got.
ego.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
ego. The best thing in the world is to break your ego. Break your ego every day.
Oh, love that. Love that. So tell me about with the transition to Compass.
I was managing 4 offices
Awesome.
for Coldwell Banker, which was a lot.
Yeah.
And so Compass came to talk to me. I knew some of the managers, and so Parker reached out to me, and I had a great conversation. Look, I tell you exactly what happened. I mean, I started in Coldwell Banker 3 years ago, so I was there for 2 years. But I watched in those 2 years, I watched people that I knew in the industry at Coldwell Banker and some other companies, maybe increasing their business 30, 40%. And then I watched these agents I knew went to Compass quadrupling their business, literally quadrupling their business. And so I was like, there's some secret sauce going on. I need to investigate.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And I should have asked this question before, and I'm like watching the clock. Unfortunately, I'm so disappointed. I got to get off. But do you have scripts you could share with people?
My God. I mean, yeah, I love doing role play. I love scripts. And I got to tell you guys something. I really keep it simple and easy. I coach agents on just question-based scripts, right? Because especially when I got into the industry, I didn't have anything to say about myself, right? Yeah. So all I did was focus on the client. And I took listings from the top agents in town, left and right. And it was just because I was like, what's important to you? What is it that you want out of this transaction? And when I talk to people, I talk direct, like, hey, are you working with an agent? Great. Look, I want to apply for the job of being your agent. What's it going to take for me to be your agent?
Yeah, that's great.
And people will answer and they will respond, and you will get so much more business and work less. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'll tell you my secret, Scott. The secret is people go for an appointment. That's the secret. You get an appointment when you build rapport.
Yeah. Yep.
People want to work with like people. So I know we'd like to think we're the best agents out there, but they want to work with somebody that they feel connected to, and that's building rapport. And rapport building, as we learn in NLP, is mostly physiology. It's not even words. It's mostly physiology and rate of speech and intonation. I mirror and match them. That's it.
Yep. That's great. Well, Ophir, I'm so disappointed I have to hop off. So Emily, I'm going to say goodbye.
Right.
And Ophir, say goodbye.
Sky, thanks for everything you do, Sky.
Thanks, guys.
Ophir, I love that you started talking about scripting because, being with Mike Ferry, that's what we did too. I worked with Karen Bernardi here in Boulder.
Yes.
Yep. And one of the interesting things that I had, I remember this moment when I was internalizing my scripts and I was prepping a house at the same time. And an agent in town came in and said, why are you doing that? That's not going to help you. And I remember looking up where he was in terms of on the market share for realtors. He wasn't even on the list. So I love that you are really kind of repeating the mantra of how important it is to understand and internalize what you're going to say, how you're going to help and understand what objection handlers to use as well. So how do you work with your agents in terms of getting them to the place where they understand how important it is to have that ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. I mean, look, if I have a specific way of working with agents, the first thing is a business plan, right? And when I talk about business plan, I'm talking about a basic plan that you can then break down into week by week actions, right? Because if I've got to make 30 calls this week, I've got to do 2 Instagram posts, I got to do that, and you time block around it, you're going to be golden, right? As we know in real estate, we get pulled in a million different directions. If you have the intention of doing it, and it's a good intention, it's not going to get done. It's not. And so time block around it, do the basics. And then when you get into doing the basics, right, then it's about conversations, because you're getting in front of more people. So if you're getting in front of more people, you need to be good at your conversations. And once you're a master, there's only so many objections you're going to get in real estate. They're all the same. They're verbalized differently. They're all the same. If you can master them, the game of real estate is yours.
So what do you think in terms of having those conversations? If we have somebody on this call that says, I don't know where to begin, how do I get really good at having the conversations, like really fine tuning my language, the way I come off, the way I present myself? What are some of those suggestions you have for agents?
Absolutely. It's called role play. Role
Yep.
play is the most important thing for my agents is role play. And so I love coaching new agents. You know why? Because they haven't learned bad habits. So they're going to jump right into what I tell them to do, right? Like all my new agents get buyer broker agreements because they don't know any better.
Mhm. That's
and they're
right.
like, this is easy, right? Why are people not getting these? It's about literally being consistent with your role play, having some accountability built in, because once you start to know your numbers, you have a plan and you know your numbers, then you can control your business completely.
That's right. That's right. And you have
That's
to know
right.
your numbers. You have to understand what your conversion opportunity is. So you know how
Yeah.
many connections you need to make.
Yeah. And you know where you need to focus. So like when a new agent starts,
Yeah.
first they're picking up the phone, they're getting hung up on a lot, right? Then they're getting into conversations, and then they're getting into actual getting appointments. Then they're getting into closing. But literally, they're learning in 6 months what most agents take 10 years to learn.
Yeah, so true. So true. This is great. As we're talking about all this, Ophir, I'm also thinking about what you were like as younger Ophir. Like, where did your name come from? Where did you come from? How did you get on this path?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. I love that. Ophir is actually an Israeli name.
Okay.
It's a city in the Bible that King Solomon discovered, the city of Ophir. And so my parents are Israeli. I was born in Westchester, New York, born and raised, and I'm adopted. So all of my relatives are in Israel. Just me and my immediate family were in New York. And then I moved out to LA 30 years ago, to work at Warner Brothers. And I'll be very straightforward with you because I am with everybody, because it's important to share, right? I was a raging alcoholic my entire real estate career. Literally, I was drinking a bottle of vodka a night. So, a lot of the stuff that I was doing, I was making money and doing these things, but I was really unhappy and miserable, right? So I really started to focus on, once I joined Keller Williams and learned about mission and vision and belief system, I started to focus on healing myself.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for 30 years. Growth is the most important thing, consistent growth and transformation. And I think it's easy. That's what I've learned over the years. So yeah, I've been really immersed in that. And that to me is why I can help so many realtors, because when I look them in the eye and I say, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And I mean it, because I couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time when I started in real estate. In terms of interacting with other people, right? In terms of being able to communicate. Yeah. And so
Tell us more about that. How did you evolve? Was it you really working on self-development and that growth aspect of yourself, and you just knew this was your path?
I was really shut down as a human being, right? I learned that quickly when I wanted to start lead generating, because I just didn't know how to engage in conversations, right? So yeah, I was really shut down as a human being, and I started to learn from lead generating. Very interestingly enough, I would learn that I'm really good at business, but rapport is something that you need to maintain, right?
Yeah.
And so I would really focus on business and not maintain rapport. And so I wouldn't have great relationships with my past clients, not bad relationships, but they weren't funneling me deals,
Exactly.
So, and I did such a great job for them. I couldn't understand why. So that really led me to want to evolve and transform, and connection is the most important thing in life. That's something I learned along the way, right? And so I really wanted to evolve and transform. So I just kept practicing and doing it and doing it. And it took me 6 months to get my first expired listing. And as soon as I got that, I got 10 others.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's persistence and commitment will take you all the way.
It sure will. Pleasantly persistent.
Yes, yes.
Ophir, how did you find, like, what was your path to NLP? How did you find NLP on this journey?
Yeah, that's a great, I found NLP from Mike Ferry.
No kidding.
Yeah, because Matt Ferry
Uh-huh.
was very much into NLP. And so at the time Tom was running it, Matt had more influence in Mike Ferry, and he had an NLP program. Yeah, that's how I found it, was he had an NLP program. And I literally went away from it for 20 years almost. And then 4 years ago, I got back and started studying NLP with a teacher to become a master practitioner, and I'll be a trainer. I was supposed to be a trainer this summer, but I got COVID and couldn't finish it. So I'll be a trainer soon.
That is so cool. Do your agents ask you to practice NLP with them?
Yes, all the time. Absolutely. You know, there's great things that you can do. My favorite with agents is a ring of power, where you can literally create a ring of power that you can step into anytime you're going on an appointment, and you feel unbelievably confident and connected, and you're ready to go anytime you go into an appointment. Or like, being able to press a knuckle and activate action in you, right? Because sometimes we procrastinate, right? So I can do a pattern that takes you from procrastination into action.
So who do you study with?
Dr. Matt. Dr. Matt, he's the most well-known in the real estate community.
How did you come to Compass? How did you find Compass and make that decision?
Well, they came to me.
Okay.
And I was a manager at Coldwell Banker.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody that they were recruiting me while I was with Coldwell Banker. No.
Oh, I came from Coldwell Banker and I was recruited from there too. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's all fair, right? And my background, I mean, people knew me as somebody who loves to coach and train and help agents build their business. So, they wanted to add that into the mix. They had two amazing managers and wanted to add another one that can coach. And so we started conversations. And I literally came over to Compass because I believed in what Compass was doing. And I believed that they were empowering their agents, which to me, it's all about the agents, right?
That's right. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And how long have you been with Compass now?
November will be a year.
Okay. What was it like when you went from being a producing agent into management? What was that transition like for you?
I went from a producing agent into coaching first.
Okay.
Remember, I was the productivity coach.
Right.
Yeah. So I went from a producing agent into a productivity coach. And I'll tell you what, it was a little humbling, right?
Sure.
Because I mean, you come from being very well respected in the industry, and then these people that you're friends with are like, "Oh, you must not be doing well. You're teaching, huh? You're coaching. You must not be doing well."
What do they say? Those who can't do, teach.
Yes, right? That's what they were literally coming. And I was like, my ego got all big, but you know what? I got so much fulfillment from coaching these agents, because I'll tell you the difference, right? In real estate, we get to help people one transaction at a time. And we still want to build clients for life, right? But we're not involved in their life all the time. And here with realtors, you're literally watching them transform, watching them build a family, watching them build a life for themselves, and being part of it.
It's so true. It's really special. Well, I feel as though the world is very lucky that you stepped into those shoes of coaching and then ultimately into management, because it's such an inspiration. I think Compass, I've never seen a more incredible group of sales managers at any brokerage. It's quite incredible.
I've been around top leadership for 3 different companies, and I agree with you wholeheartedly that the people that I'm working with are the best leaders that I've been involved with since I started.
I love it.
Yeah.
So as you came over to Compass, what have some of your goals been? Like, what are some of the, let's talk about your business plan, because there's a lot of alignment in terms of agents' business plans and sales managers' business plans. So tell us a little bit about your business plan.
It's such a great question, but I think it goes like all the way. Like
Yeah,
realtors should model brokerages, right? Like
yeah,
that's the systems the way it should be. And we all have the same goals, right? Know your numbers, have a ability to break down what you do into week by week. I mean,
right.
that's the most important thing. If you can know what you need to do every week in order to get the business you want to get, then you shouldn't fail, right?
That's right.
And
And
I know you won't fail. That's for sure. I know you will absolutely succeed when you do the things that you are committed to doing.
And isn't it amazing when you're not tracking those things, you think you're doing those things until you actually start tracking it and you understand, oh, I'm actually not walking the talk that I thought I was.
The number one rule of leadership
Mm.
is lead by example.
Yes.
That's for me, the number one rule of leadership is lead by example. And so, yeah, I mean, I have my own business plan.
Mhm.
When I create a business plan, I take 2 days to do it because, I want to create an environment where I can be creative and I can really put together my thoughts and my goals
Yeah,
and then plan and have intention around them.
that's incredible. What does your business plan look like in terms of how you're helping agents?
I mean, I love coaching new agents, as I mentioned, right? Which is
Yes.
not really a thing that most coaches love to do.
Isn't
I don't
that
want to.
interesting?
Yeah, yeah.
I love
Uh,
coaching new agents too.
right? Like I
Yes.
love coaching new agents. And so, yeah, for me, I have a goal of how many agents I'm going to, not I'm going to, but how
Mhm.
many agents will I collaborate with
Yep.
to bring their business to over 250, right? So that's my goal. And then the 250 people to 500, right?
Yep.
So my goal is to help people double their business every year.
That is a great goal.
Yeah, that's my goal. And so we implement, every week we
Mhm.
implement different things. And I like to stay on top of my agents. And I don't mean like, I'm a master. But they know when I'm checking in on them,
Yeah.
they love it.
They love it. I
They
love
love
that.
it. They're like,
Okay.
yes, make me do my stuff.
That is so great. I have, those calls, Ophir, that you get, or when you make a call to an agent and they're like, oh my gosh, are you calling me because I'm in trouble? I love that they're like, ooh, I love it. He's reaching out to me.
Yeah, yeah. And they know too, after like a couple of months, they're like, pick up the phone. They're like, I know, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to call you back in an hour.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. I love that.
Yeah.
What would you say to an agent that says, I'm going to do these things, but continues to not do the things that they know they need to do? How do you help them over that?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Mhm.
Because it goes further than that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I have a belief in coaching that, one of the things we do is in coaching, we try to move people forward. We don't
Yes.
try, we move people forward, right? And yet at the same time, you're moving them forward with their baggage and their limiting beliefs, right? So you're still pushing them forward, but they still have that pulling them backwards. So you need to have a real hour and a half coaching consult and find out what are their limiting beliefs by
Right.
asking a lot of questions. What is the baggage that's holding them back? And then when you can find that and start to help them release it, then it becomes a lot easier to move forward.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
So it's that limiting belief aspect that is one of the keys, one of those unlocks in terms of actually utilizing the statement, just do it, where they're having a hard time just doing it. So for everyone on this call, I think this is a great call to action for you. If you feel like you're one of those people who keep saying, well, oh, I'm not doing the things I know I need to do, start to unpeel your limiting beliefs. Go sit down with your sales manager. That's what we're here for. A lot of us
Yes.
love to help you see your blind spots in that way.
Absolutely. That's so poignant. I mean, it's so true. And
Mhm.
by the way, I want you to know we all have limiting beliefs. We
Truly.
all have limiting beliefs. And when
Yes.
you start to peel off the layers, you find you're like in shock at the beliefs that you have. Crazy, crazy beliefs. Like,
Crazy.
I mean, look, the underlying problem for everybody is I'm not worthy. I'm not lovable, right?
Yeah.
That's usually the root cause, which shows up in different ways. And
Mhm.
yet you have to be aware, because Emily, that's such a great point. I wanted to do these things. I'm like, I need to make money. I don't have money. Why am I not doing them? And
Right.
that's when I got into the psychology of it, because I knew I had to shift my psychology, because just needing to wasn't making me do these things.
Oh my gosh, that is just so key what you just said there. Wanting
Yeah.
to do that is not, you have to go farther. You have to go deeper, because
Yeah.
wanting it isn't always going to get you there. You
Yeah.
have to start doing the actual work, the deep work, peeling back the layers of the onion and looking at who you truly are. And some of it's not pretty. We all have that shadow aspect that we
Oh,
need
yeah.
to look at.
Oh, yeah. And one of my key phrases is get comfortable being uncomfortable. You got to push yourself past your comfort zones, right? That's where the growth, that's where the energy, that's where the money is.
Yeah.
Push yourself past your uncomfort zone.
Ophir, you are speaking to everyone, including myself this morning. This
And
feels
me.
so good. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yes, Tracy, personal growth is not for the faint of heart at all.
That's so true.
But honestly, that's what else are we here for on this planet? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Well, this has
Exactly.
been incredible, Ophir. We end the call with what we call 6 at 6. And it's just fun. It's 6 rapid fire questions that I ask you, and we get to learn a little bit more about you personally. They're fun questions. So are you ready for this? And then we'll let you get on with your day.
I love it. Let's
Okay,
do it.
wonderful. And now I need to remember what the questions are. Okay, Ophir, what would the most perfect and ideal day look like for you?
That's so good. It's coaching agents. It's literally having a group of agents in a room and spending the day with them, focusing on what they need to really focus on in real estate, and breaking it down into simple action plans for them, so they can walk out the door with a simple action plan.
Oh my gosh, you are a true leader. That's really, really great. I love it. Okay, if you were
That's
able to
fun.
time travel either into the past or into the future, any place in space and time, where would you like to go?
You know, I'm not going to go into the past. The past is the past, right? And by the way, that's one of the beautiful tenets of NLP, right? We're not looking to find out all your baggage and what created in childhood. We just want you to move forward and release it. We don't need to know all of that stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, now I forgot the question.
Oh, where do you want to time travel to? Where
I want to time travel. I want to time travel to the future. I want to see what it's like 100 years from now.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, and I find that I'll probably love the tools they have for realtors.
That will be interesting to see
Maybe
how
I can bring
realtors
some of
are
them back.
engaging in 100 years from now. We'll be all flying around in hovercrafts.
Yes.
Okay. What is one thing that you would love to master?
Huna.
What is this?
That's the ancient art of Hawaiian energy healing. That's what I'm going to right now after this.
That is so exciting. Okay, so when we have you back for part 2 to do the NLP Ring of Power, I'd love to hear more about that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay, awesome. What is a book or a movie that you love to go back to time and time again?
Well, that's a great question. You know, I'm going to tell you guys something. Shift is one of my favorite books.
Mine too. Are you serious?
Shift is such a good, it's better than MREA. It's so apropos to right now for everybody here. And I used to do masterminds around it. And it's just a great book to really, you know, get you to the root of what you need to do and have the right foundations in your business.
We have not read that yet for, you know, we choose a book of the month for the 6 a.m.ers. We're going to put that on our list.
I love that book. Yeah.
That is a great, we'll let you know when we're doing it.
Please.
Yes. Okay. Ophir, who was your first celebrity childhood crush?
Oh my God, what's her name? Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, yes. What a beautiful woman.
Yes. Totally.
Still, wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Timeless.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Final question for you. What is the first thing you're doing after this call?
Headed to the airport.
You're headed to the airport. Okay, well, we will not hold you up any
Yes.
longer. Ophir, thank you so much. This has been such a pleasure. I am so inspired and excited.
Listen,
Start
thank
with
you
it.
guys for having me. I love what you guys all do. And I want to share something with you.
Yes.
This is a great time in the marketplace. You're going to be able to capture a lot more business. So be aware of that. We're moving into a phase where good realtors get more business. So it's going to be awesome for everybody here.
There's your mantra. Good realtors get more business.
Yes.
Yes, I love that. Well, have a wonderful day, and we will be sure to have you back to join us. This is just the beginning.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.